Good afternoon, Coach. How you doing today? Pat Freeman from the Buffalo Criterion newspaper.
Hi, Pat. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm okay. Just want to first ask you about the health of the team coming out of the game.
Yeah, so the injury update I'll have for you here, I'll read through them. So Rasul Douglas getting better. We'll see how he does this week as we get into it. Same with Taylor Rapp, DeMar Hamlin, Casey Toohill, Matt Milano. Josh is all good. He had some of those tests after the game. He's all good, as well as Spencer Brown. Curtis Samuel, Dorian Williams return to the game. They're day-to-day. We'll see how they do. And then Tyler Grable, currently on IR, so his decision will come in the next couple of days here. So that's what I have for you. Nothing definitive on those injuries. Still gathering information and taking it one day at a time.
All right, Coach, I wanted to ask you about this particular game. Had to be something that you were very happy with. You didn't have to make an adjustment with the run. 15 rushes for 48 yards. What was significant with that? And obviously the play, outstanding play of Ed Oliver. He really came to play yesterday.
Yeah, I thought it was physical right from the start. Physical with intention, attitude. The guys were wearing their emotions on their sleeves. They had a purpose when they took the field on that first drive. And I think the first two drives, I don't know if both. I think both may have been 3 and outs, or the first one was. But either way, we forced a punt against a really good offense, and got us up, helped get us up 14 zip right there, right off the bat, which was important for us. And then to start the second half the same way, the early punt and then the forced fumble setting up our offense right there. So really good start to both halves there on the defensive side.
Well, my last question to you is a congratulation. You became the 5th coach in NFL history to record 5 straight 11-win seasons. And you've always come in with a great attitude, and I appreciate what you've accomplished during your tenure here in Buffalo. Congratulations.
I certainly appreciate that, Pat. Means a lot. Hard to do, and it's never about one person, that. But hey, God is good, and I'm extremely grateful for being here in Buffalo.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Hey, Coach, Ian Mills over with Channel 10 in Rochester. How are you doing today?
I'm well. How are you?
Not bad. I know yesterday you mentioned kind of the rare air of beating the Chiefs, the 1 seed in the AFC, and beating the Lions, the 1 seed in the NFC as it stands. How big is it to play games like this late in the season against strong opponents, as you guys prep towards the postseason?
No, it's big. I mean, there's certain challenges on your schedule. Every week's a challenge, I should say, and then there's other ones that are just have a little bit more kind of spice in them, right? So that was the case yesterday for multiple reasons, and I think you could tell with our level of play and the way that all 3 phases came out, the team came out, and they were set on what they wanted to accomplish yesterday. And
then your next 3 games, all against divisional opponents. They don't have the records maybe that the strongest records, not not records that the Lions have.
Yeah.
But playing divisional games this late in the season, does that kind of add a little bit more emphasis? The fact that these are rivals, right? Even though they're not great records, but you're still playing games against meaningful opponents, if that makes sense.
No, it is. And that's how the league, I think the majority of the time kind of shapes it. So you get those divisional matchups that are always interesting, always come with a little bit more of a competitive edge. And it makes for good football down the stretch for the organizations, the teams, and certainly the fans.
Last question I got for you, kind of off topic. Your game this Sunday got flexed from 1 o'clock to 4:30. Your reaction to that? Were you surprised by that at all?
No, not surprised. I mean, when you're a good team, that tends to happen this time of year, and you just kind of keep your knees bent and stay flexible.
All right, thanks so much, Sean. Have a good rest of your day.
Thanks, you too.
Hi, Sean. I want to go back to the 4th downs in this game, or at least the 4th down you went for, obviously at midfield, and then take you to the end of the first half. You guys were near the 1 yard line there. I know you had the penalty. Was there was there a point where maybe you would go for it as well in that situation? Obviously, the penalty backed you up to the 6-yard line. Would you thought of staying aggressive in that situation?
Right. So the fourth down, I think it was 4th and 2.5. It probably showed up on the scoreboard as 4th and 2, but it's somewhere between 2 and 3. Felt like we wanted to stay aggressive or be aggressive there, and you know, great play call, great execution. So it paid off. And then, yes, I thought that was a sequence. Didn't really love that sequence of plays. You know, we left some points out there. Certainly missing the field goal, but even before that, thought we had an opportunity to, at a minimum, go for it on 4th down. And so I felt like we took ourselves out of that situation. Certainly with a penalty, but overall, just felt like we can revisit that and reevaluate that sequence of plays.
Well, on that note, I know last week you said the Josh Allen sneak is your best play down there. Is that something you might reevaluate and look at that you would have done differently, possibly?
Yeah, we talked about that. That was actually, you know, being talked about on the headset as well. So we were, you know, just inside of the 1 yard to go area, and sitting on 3rd down, I believe, after the pass to Curtis on 2nd down there, and felt, hey, we've got 2 downs. You know, we're a tough team to stop with 2 downs and just inside the 1 for sure. So again, that's something we have to do better.
And then, you know, you look at the numbers. I mean, close to 500 yards passing, but I think everyone kind of saw how the game played out. There's a lot of circumstance to that, right? And you have Cam Lewis and Cole Bishop back there, and on top of Kyer, you have 3 guys who aren't normally starters. Can you take us into the mindset of what, you know, you want to make sure you're accomplishing with those guys and not getting beat deep? They only allowed 1 ball over top of their head, and that was even incomplete, actually. And kind of what the philosophy is with those guys, and especially as you know, they have to throw the ball a lot.
Right, one-dimensional game. They probably went one-dimensional a little bit earlier than we had anticipated. Just at that point, we were up 14. I think that's when we caused the fumble in the 3rd quarter there, and then they came back, certainly up 35-14, and stayed one-dimensional. And you know, we've got, you know, some guys out there for sure. To your point, I think 3 of the starting DBs were out, and then Cole went down, and Kareem came in, and then Milano went down, and Dorian came in, and at one point Balin came in because Dorian was hurt. So we were, you know, moving pieces in and out. I thought the staff did a good job with that. All that being said, I thought we did a phenomenal job in the run game and really overall managing the game up to that point. And we got to learn how to close out a game, and that's a combination of rush and coverage working together, and you know, someone winning their one-on-one matchup.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
Sure thing.
Hey, Sean, you kind of mentioned it there for a second on Dorian and Balin and kind of flipping things as injuries were happening throughout the game. What went into when Dorian was out there for a while and then was ultimately able to come back in? How did that play itself out?
You kind of broke up there, Matt. I want to make sure I understand your question. You're talking about the flipping of Dorian and Balin?
Yeah, so Dorian was in the game, then he was out for a while, and then it seemed like Balin was in for him, but then Dorian was able to come back in at the end. I think there's some just confusion from fans how Dorian was able to come back into the game.
Right. So Dorian was injured in the game, and so he wasn't available to us for a stretch, probably the stretch everyone's, you know, you're talking about here as well. So and then he became available, so we put him back in the game there towards the end.
Gotcha. Joe Brady, obviously this offense, 30+ points a game over the last 8 weeks. A lot has been going well in the run game, in the pass game. How have you seen your offense really take advantage of what he's done as a play caller?
Well, I think the biggest thing is getting as many people involved as possible while taking advantage of matchups, Matt, but also not dictating the ball has to go to one person, and really allowing Josh to go through his progression and allowing Josh to feel the game, right? So whether he uses his legs, gets the ball out to an outlet, a check down, what have you, really just executing the offense, if that makes sense to you.
It does. And, you know, I think a great example of that point is you have Amari Cooper go for 14 targets last week. He's not targeted one time this week. Is that kind of what makes it so hard to deal with the offense, is that you can't plan for one specific thing to happen week in and week out?
Agree. And that's, when you look at, kind of flip it around a little bit, you look at Detroit's offense and you go against two good backs, you go against good tight end, multiple receivers that have different skill sets. And, other than, St. Brown in some situations and things that you'd say, hey, we need to take away this player. It's that ball finds whomever it finds just through the progression and how the offense is rolling. And so I think it's really hard when you're operating on all cylinders, to your point, to really just hone in on one person.
And last one, I know sometimes when things aren't going well for players, especially players with a lot of expectations, it could be hard to answer tough questions. And I thought last week Ed Oliver answered every single one. What did you see from him last week? Not just the performance in the game, but how he handled the adversity and responded.
Yeah, he's a stand-up guy. He really is. I mean, he's not that tall when he stands up, but he's a stand-up guy. So don't tell him I said that. But I thought he played a heck of a game last night. I really did. I mean, it doesn't take a trained eye to be able to see that. Run game in his gap, coming off the ball, getting off blocks, making plays. In the pass game, certainly affecting the quarterback, and that's what he's capable of, and that's what we need more of, quite honestly, on a more consistent basis. And if you guys want to continue to piss him off during the week, have at it.
And is that a new sweatshirt there? Does it say on there "Good News"?
Good news.
I'm a big
Buffalo.
news guy. What's that about?
No, good news. Good news. It's actually part of our chaplain's chapel sweatshirt that they give out to the guys that attend. So, yeah, good news.
Gotcha. Thanks, Sean.
Sure.
Hey, Sean, AJ Feldman here in Rochester. Thanks for taking the time. Yesterday, you said that you thought Josh Allen was playing the best football of his career. What do you think kind of stands out right now among other things that Josh is doing well right now?
I mean, you name it. He's in command of our offense, really. And so when you look up, I think the word quarterback in a dictionary or what have you, I mean, that's how he's playing. I mean, the ball's going where it's supposed to go, and he's moving us down the field. However we move down the field, he's moving us down the field, getting the ball to the running backs when it needs to go to the running backs and the checkdowns, the screen game, hitting the intermediate routes. Just he's very comfortable in the pocket, it seems, and he's seeing the game extremely well right now.
With Allen being in, the MVP conversation, all the points being scored, beating the Chiefs, beating the Lions, expectations are starting to mount. You talk a lot about your leadership group. What do you want to see from them this week and in the final weeks of the season as the team kind of gets these added expectations placed on them?
Well, we control those, right? We control our expectations. That's in, what we really focus on is inside of our building, and certainly understand that when you win against teams like we beat, expectations increase. But that's nothing new for us. It's better that way than the other way, right? So we're fired up about being able to play this weekend at home in front of our fans. I feel like it's been a few weeks since we've been here, and we get a chance to play in Orchard Park this coming Sunday in a afternoon game, 4 o'clock, 4:20, whatever it is.
Thanks for your time, Sean.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach, you spoke about Ed Oliver's performance yesterday. His performance with the addition of Dwayne Carter being healthy and DeJuan Smoot being back in the lineup. How can this group build off of yesterday's performance? And by group, I mean just the defensive line as a whole.
Right. Good question. I really liked how they played in the run game, Maddie. And, then just, again, we had some really good rushes as well in the pass game, especially when it turned to some early third downs. I thought later in the game, the connection of the rush and the coverage could have been better, the detail and things. But that's all growth for us. We've had some pieces moving around there, and guys coming back from injury, guys getting injured, and I applaud the staff and the players for being resilient, working through it. The important piece is that we continue to improve in that area for sure.
And then on offense, just the group hitting their stride as a whole, how important is the run game to this offense being able to hit their stride at the right point in this season as you guys finish out the regular season?
Right, that's huge. That's never taken for granted. It's earned every week with the mindset up front on both sides of the ball, and Coach Cromer, Coach West, and their assistants, and led by Connor and our defensive line really as a group. So it's something that's not taken for granted, as I mentioned, but so important to our success on offense and defense.
Thanks, Coach.
You got it.
Hey, Sean, thanks for taking the time to chat with us. I appreciate it.
Sure.
Just wanted to ask you just something you were alluding to yesterday after the game. You come into that game and not only are you dealing with some injuries on the defensive side of the ball, but you're also preparing for a Lions team in a week where you had to practice virtually because of things that are just out of your control. Can you just take us into the resiliency, I guess, of the team? I think it might be the word you used yesterday, and what it takes from not only the guys in the locker room, but the people inside the building to be able to still prepare and try to get things done throughout the week, and then in turn play a team like Detroit on Sunday.
Right, it adds an extra layer. I mean, there's kind of no working around it. Taking you back to last week, I think we got word that the storm, was going to hit. I'm losing my track of my days here, but it was like Tuesday. We first really started getting serious about this storm coming in, and all the while, we as coaches are trying to game plan, and so just really, our operations staff, Matt Warzik, my assistant, Eric Behan, Brendan Rowe, Ryan Moore, and many others started, getting heavily involved in how this is all going to, affect our week. And then, the communication between myself and the coordinators of what each day might look like, what we need to tell the players. Should we have the cafeteria make more food so players can take some food home in case we get stuck Thursday morning? So it's a lot of, there's, connecting with the weather people locally that we can, that know we feel like the best about how much to expect, when it's going to affect us. The thing that I think some people don't realize is we have some young players here who have never experienced snow before, growing up in Florida or maybe Texas or California. So that's another safety issue altogether. So just trying to put the players and the staff's safety first, all the while trying to win a game. So you want to say it's a delicate balance, but it really isn't a delicate balance when it comes to people's health and well-being. So we tried to put that first. I think the players appreciated that. Some of us made it in on Thursday morning, and we thought we'd be, staying overnight Thursday night as well. Some did stay overnight Wednesday night. Some of the coaches here as well, and so it happens where it's a long week and some unpredictability. But I thought the players and staff handled it extremely well.
Appreciate it, Sean. Thank you for your time.
Sure.
Good afternoon, Head Coach Sean McDermott. George Radney, Challenger Community News. How you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing well, George. How are you?
Great. And I'm just wondering, in yesterday's game, how would you assess your offensive line play?
Thought it was very strong. I really did. Being able to control the line of scrimmage in the early part of the game was important for us, and I thought our offensive line was up for the challenge, including our tight ends. Everyone, we ask everyone to block in the run game here, wide receivers included. So they were set on being able to win that line of scrimmage early in the game.
Absolutely. And at the end of the game, was that Josh calling his own number, or was that purposely called? Because I was just wondering why he was running so much at the end. It worked to end the game, but just putting your quarterback in possible harm's way. I was wondering, was that set by design?
Well, it depends on which one you're talking about. So, most of those were, some of them were called. Others, Josh, played football. He does what he does. So, some of a little bit of both.
Oh, some was okay. Okay, that's a good. You make a good attorney. You really your answer. Very good. Last but not least,
you gotta be politically correct, right?
Exactly. Absolutely. There you go. That's the perfect answer on that one for sure. And last but not least, when you guys prepare for now, you got two home games, you got divisional games coming up. How do you now get everybody back to say, hey, now we still, you really had two high national televised games, and now you have more lower profile. They still mean the same thing amount, but how do you get them back to being focused for this next opponent?
Well, I think, that we picked up a scar from that LA game, quite honestly, and coming off of 2 emotional wins, clinching the division 5 weeks ahead of time. And I think we picked up a scar right there. And so sometimes scars are good for you if you continue to see them on your face. It's a good reminder of what not to do. And sometimes you're able to live longer lives when you have those scars.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for your time, and good luck this coming Sunday.
Thanks, George. Good to see you.
That's all we have for you today, Coach.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Six.